Costanza, you carrying a big 2-inch thick wallet? Guys, be honest with yourself. No one needs a suitcase crammed to their back pocket. The Ridge wallet came out in 2013 on Kickstarter. It is now in the front pocket of over 500,000 men and women. It allows you to carry much less, but exactly what you need. With 2 metal plates bound together by a durable elastic band, the Ridge looks nothing like the traditional wallet. Ridge wallets are available in titanium, carbon fiber, and aluminum. They got over a dozen styles and colors. You're gonna love it. They got over 30,000 5-star reviews as proof, plus they got your boy giving you his word. This is what I carry. There's a lifetime warranty. So if you love it, enjoy it. If you don't, send it back. Free returns, free shipping worldwide. Click the link in the description to get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns. Go to ridge.com/Chael. That's ridge.com/Chael and use the promo code Chael. Whoa, UFC 151. This thing is packed. So let's see. You got Holloway in a rematch. He's taking on Volkanovski, 45-pound strap. You've got Jan versus Aldo on the same card. This is all on the same card. Oh, by the way, you then have Usman and Burns. I got to tell you, who do you main event? There used to be a policy where, and it was just a policy, somebody came out one day, but it became the policy, and whoever was heaviest would go last. If there was multiple title fights, just whoever weighed more will go last, and we'll do it in descending weight order. Okay. I have no problem with that, but there has been some times where that's been neglected in many ways. I mean, let me look at the Henry Cejudo's last fight. Henry Cejudo was a co-main event. Then the bigger guys, Gaethje and Ferguson, closed out the show as the main event. And I guess you could say that's on script. I'm arguing it's not, because there was no champion at 155 when they walked out. So does the policy stay in place or do we change it? Listen, we're splitting hairs and we're just having a discussion about nothing other than that is a loaded card. That is the point. Who do you put on top of the bill? I think you show the respect to Usman. I really do. But I also think that fight is going to be a lot bigger than many of us know. Look, we're hardcores over here, right? That's why you come over here. That's why I sit down and talk to you every day. We love the sport. We understand it better than most people. I understand all those things. I will just predict for you before that fight goes off. That is really going to be a big deal. You have to understand that Gilbert Burns' backstory, okay? Here's the deal with Usman. Usman is who you can aspire to be. Burns is who you can identify with being. And there is a significant difference in an aspirational champion. Oh my goodness, right? But somebody that you can identify and sympathize with is very relatable, and as long as Burns and Team Burns do a good job of telling the Burns story, which is that he was a dark horse down a weight class fighting on undercards, won 4 in a row and never even broke onto a main card. All of a sudden, largely because of his attitude and nothing more, put me in. Forget the odds and forget about who wins and loses. That's between me and this guy, but go ahead and put me in. He steps into a co-main event spot that very few people thought he was going to win, in all fairness, against Damian Maia, okay? 2 grapplers, Maia said to be the greatest. I mean, right, you get the deal. Comes out, stops him in the first round. Next thing he knows, he's in a main event fight. You've got the timing and everything that happened and who's just willing. He then comes out, not only beats a former world champion and surprises everybody, but that's really what catapulted him. I mean, I will argue that till I'm blue in the face. This dark horse status that came out of nowhere, there is no time in life that story doesn't work. Movies get made about guys like that. I saw a movie on Christmas about an old boxer. What was his name? James Raddick? And my close guys, it was a number of Christmases ago. I want to say like 2005 even, but it came out on Christmas Day. I went and saw it with my cousin Corey. And I think it was James Raddick. But now I'm trying to remember. It was played by Russell Crowe. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was James Raddick because he had to beat Max Baer. That's exactly what it was. But he was just a regular dude. He'd get up and he'd go put in for some work on the day and hope that they called on him. go to the boat docks, work all day, go in the gym all night, rose all the way up to a world championship. But these stories are very real. And they're generally myth and fiction and sensationalized, except right now. We're watching one right now. There's a lesson in this, though, because we've got a broader conversation going on. We've got a broader conversation about some of the guys whose names are up in marquee not wanting to go out and do some of the heavy lifting. And they believe that they have leverage, and they believe they can stick it to everybody else and believe they've got something that the fans want. And most part, they are right. For about 2 or 3 hours. I mean, right? It goes really quick. Who would have thought Gilbert Burns is going to main event a pay-per-view that, by the way, has 3 world title fights on it, and he's going to be on the top of the bill opposite Usman. Usman's like 17-1. I mean, for goodness sake, what's John Jones's 20-1? Remarkable record. What's Khabib, 29-0? Usman is amongst the greatest fighters not only the sport's ever seen right now today. You're going to stand opposite of him on ESPN. Gilbert Burns? Had I told you that 4 months ago? Had I told you that 4 weeks ago? You guys are shorting that stock buy for sure. So do you see how these things happen? And Dana even came out and said what he liked about Burns. I mean, you want to know what I like about this guy? Of course, he's a great fighter. I get all of those things. I like his attitude. And that's a very real thing. I mean, this is the one that you can go to college and get all the degrees that you want. That's the one lesson that is in no chapter of any of those textbooks. None. Sits in no library shelf anywhere in this world. Having people like you because you have a good attitude will take you very far in life. Being willing to do a job that other people just aren't willing to do provides opportunity. There was an Ultimate Fighter, a season like 2 or 3, right at the beginning. Somebody had been eliminated from the process. Somebody who won and was part of the process had to pull out. I can't remember the reason, but they now need somebody who's no longer in the tournament to re-enter the tournament. So Dana drives over to the fighter's house, drops the message on him, and leaves. Hey, we're going to pick somebody. So all of you start getting your head right, start watching your weight. We'll let you know what we decide. He leaves. Some dude runs out of the house after him, chases him down. It's just the two of them in the dark of the night, and goes up to his car. Says, please, please, please. This is my dream. I want this so bad. Whoever it is, whatever it is, I'm in shape. I'm ready. Please just give me one more chance. Boom. You got it. Didn't go back in the house. Didn't draw straws. Didn't let people argue it out. Didn't talk to the coaches. Boom. Done. It's a very real thing. Who wants something more is a real thing in life. And I do think in the broader scope, as we're starting to look at guys that believe that they've got hand, and I'm not against those guys, man, go play your cards how you want to play them. But when you're making the decision to sit down at the table, you've got to observe the landscape, not just now, but the history of this. If you think that you're the best guy or potentially the best guy, but for any reason you're not willing to go in, then you aren't. And I don't mean that to be a jerk, and I don't mean it to be cold. But there has never been an Olympic championship throughout time. There has never been a world championship or an NCAA championship. There has never been a Super Bowl contested or Game 7 of the World Series, ever throughout time, where somebody is sitting at home and looks over to their buddies while having a snack and a couple of drinks and says, you know what, I could have done that. I decided not to go to the Olympics this year. Yeah, you know, I'm better than this guy. I decided not to play baseball this year. It never happens. The right guy will always step up. 2 through 20, I can't make the same statement. The right guy will always come forward.